Today we have an informational hearing, a presentation by Miss Amazing, the Miss Amazing organization. So we're certainly looking forward to this. And thank you all for being here and coming to this committee. And with that, Michelle Roberts, Director of Kansas Miss Amazing. Thank you for being before our committee.
And I'm the director for Kansas Miss Amazing. I'm going to start off with kind of a little personal story to help you understand what Miss Amazing is and what it means to me personally. As a woman who grew into her disability, I was driving around one time in my lovely Mustang that my husband bought me because he wanted to celebrate our 20 years being married. Not a big deal. And as a person with an accessible placard, I use accessible parking. Well, sometimes that can be an issue because some people, when they look at a person who's disabled, that's not the first thing they think of, is that a person who's disabled can have a Mustang. And so lots of judgment came with that. Many of times I spent my time driving around the parking lot looking for a different parking spot because I didn't want to have to deal with that judgment. And one day my daughter said to me, "Why do we do that?" And I said, "Well, because people sometimes pass judgment and they make comments and I don't want to deal with that." And she said, "But you have the right to park there. It's a part that's, it's part of you. It's who you are." And so people who have disabilities can own a Mustang. People who have disabilities can go to college. People who have disabilities can become president. People who have disabilities can do anything. So that's their problem, not yours. And after that, I realized that I needed to become comfortable with who I was. It's my identity. It's who I am. And so I want to make sure that other women in the state of Kansas have that ability to become comfortable with themselves, to find the parking spot that suits them, not suits what the perception of the community should be. And so that is why I brought Miss Amazing to the state of Kansas. Miss Amazing is an organization that is for women with disabilities. We teach women public speaking skills, leadership skills. We give them opportunities that other girls have, but yet our girls may not have, because that's not the vision that other people have of women with disabilities. So we want to make sure and provide those opportunities to them. The people who are going to speak after me, I have a young lady who started off as a state representative and she is now a national representative. She's going to speak about the perception of how she uses Miss Amazing. And then I have a parent who's going to speak and talk about her perception as a parent as to why this organization is important to her. So the next person I'm going to have come up is Cristiana Guerrero, and I mispronounced her name. She is our national representative. Cristiana became our state representative in 2020. And then obviously we all know that the country kind of shut down a little bit. And she had an extra year as a state representative, and they did not crown the 2020 until 2021. So she is our national teen, and I'll let her speak. Yeah, I will.
Whoop. Okay. Hello? Is that good? Okay, yes, thank you for having me. So as she briefly mentioned, my name is Cristiana Guerrero, and I was crowned the 2020 Kansas Miss Amazing Teen Representative. And so I just wanted to share a little bit more about my experience with Miss Amazing, because something, as she kind of mentioned, is that in this world, we're told that we're all supposed to fit into a certain image, a certain thing. And so if you fall out of that, you're considered less than, and you're not given the same opportunities. And what we focus on at Kansas Miss Amazing is not having a scale of comparison like the world does, but instead celebrating the uniqueness of every girl involved. And so our goal is to empower girls and women with disabilities to build self-confidence and public speaking skills and to become a leader and reach their own goals. And so it's specialized to each and every girl. So I wanted to share a little bit of my story with what Miss Amazing is. So the first time I heard about Miss Amazing was in 2020. And I had heard about it like shortly before it was, and I was really excited because it sounded like a fun weekend. And at this time, I actually had an invisible disability. And so I hadn't been introduced much into the disability community. I didn't know too much about it, but when I came to Miss Amazing in the event, I saw a place and a people that I belonged with, and we were all so beautifully different, yet we all had something that we could relate to on and move forward together. And so what started out as a fun weekend turned into actually 3 years of my life because of the way that the pandemic worked out, because things kept getting postponed. So I was a state representative for 2 years. And then, as mentioned, I was crowned the national representative in August. And so it was really awesome to just see how many opportunities were opened because of the support I had through this platform and the mentorship I had for creating specialized goals and growth, that in participating in the program, we get one-on-one mentorship to talk about what our goals are for the year, and that differs between every girl. For some, it's public speaking skills, interviews, working on volunteering. Well, I love public speaking, you know, I already had that, but an interesting thing that I struggled with at the beginning was actually just wearing my sash and crown to events, because I loved volunteering. I was already doing the appearances anyway, and to me, I was afraid that wearing the sash and crown would bring too much attention to myself or take it away from the purpose or put a spotlight that I was uncomfortable with. But what they helped me realize is that having the sash and crown on gave the opportunity to bring awareness to not only what I was doing, but why I was doing it, and to be able to move forward, because the crown wasn't what opened the opportunities. It was who I was already, and the crown was able to amplify them and give me the opportunities to truly share that with others. And what was really interesting is as soon as I got crowned, I had all these opportunities to open up and scheduled so many things. And then 2 weeks later is when the lockdowns hit and everything changed. And at first I was like, come on, you know, I was so excited for all these things. And then it was just gone. But I am so thankful, because in doing it in this crazy year, I realized my strength for making my own opportunities, for being an engineer for change, for starting new things, and to bring unprecedented joy to people during an unprecedented time. And Miss Amazing gave me the platform to realize that, and it works so perfectly with how that year happened. And it was really awesome to see how the sisterhood was amplified. All of us encouraging each other, working with each other, and focusing on each other's strengths and building each other up. And I love that it is strength and passion focused, that it really is individualized, and we get to use what our passions already are to move forward. For me, my biggest passions are, one, self-love. My biggest passion is to remind you that you're loved, encourage you to love yourself today, and empower you with everyday ways to live it out. And because of that passion, I had created a Facebook page that had every day just little blurbs and reminders of that. And in Miss Amazing, I was able to venture into more public speaking and motivational speaking to share that. And I also am very passionate about advocating for the disability community. And as the national representative and the platform I now have, I'm really excited that my next project is going to be creating the first Disabled and Proud Parade of Kansas. That July is Disability Pride Month, which focuses on bringing visibility, awareness, and acceptance to people with disabilities and in their community. And so I will be bringing that to Kansas to be able to have this big celebration and educational time. And so in short, what I love about Miss Amazing is that There are opportunities designed to cultivate growth. And our biggest event is the Amplify event, which is a pageant style event. But we also have many different activities a month, including open mics and a book club and a dance class for people of, any ability to be able to join. I also love that it's specialized to each person, that it's a feeling of true belonging, that there's a mentorship to be the leader that I want to be, and resources to be able to share my passions. And that's Miss Amazing from my perspective.
Very good. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Would you stand for some questions? Committee, do you have any questions? Oh, sure. Amy, welcome to committee. Welcome to committee.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Amy Jennings, and my husband Randy is with us today, and our daughter Jennifer, who is the current Kansas Miss Amazing teen. And Michelle asked me to share with you how Kansas Miss Amazing has affected our daughter's life through a parent's perspective. And so I just want to start from the beginning. When Jennifer participated in the Kansas Miss Amazing 2019 event, even though the talent portion was optional, she wanted to sing. And the entire time Jennifer sang her song, she held on to the mic stand and would not let go until she was done. She was very nervous and lacked self-confidence in herself. Even so, by the end of the evening, Jennifer had been selected as the junior teen. Throughout the following year, anytime Michelle let us know about speaking engagements or resource fairs, I always made sure Jennifer was there. Initially I would be the one talking to the attendees, because Jennifer was so scared and didn't know what to say or do. But it took me a couple times to realize that people didn't want to talk to me. They wanted to talk to the pretty young lady in the sash and crown. And it was one of these resource fairs where we met State Representative Megan Lynn. And I remember standing back and just watching Jennifer talk to Megan and the other attendees, was just so excited and so happy, talking to them about the Miss Amazing program. And so afterwards I said, Jennifer, how did you know what to say? And she said, you know what, I just listened and learned. And so 1 year later at the 2020 Kansas Miss Amazing event, Jennifer crowned her junior teen successor and sang a special song that Michelle had requested her to sing. And this time she sang, even though she sang with the vocals, she sang with so much confidence and passion. And to me, this was a true testament of how much Kansas Miss Amazing had helped her grow throughout the year. And in early 2021, due to COVID protocols, Jennifer was a Kansas Miss Amazing princess. And she submitted a video to the Natalie M. Foundation explaining just how much Kansas Miss Amazing meant to her. And the judges, this is what I was told, were so moved by her passion that they not only selected her as the role model class of 2021, but she was one of 3 young ladies out of 33 to earn a $250 grant. And she donated that grant to Kansas Miss Amazing. On June 29th, while Jennifer was touring the Ark Encounter in Kentucky, she felt, a spiritual presence go through her. It was at that moment when she realized that God loves us all and is always with us. A few weeks later, she explained to me, she said, you know, I want to make a difference for people with disabilities all over the world. And then this is when I knew that she no longer needed me to lead her because now she was being the leader. Sorry. During the 2021 Amazing Me fashion show, which is a fundraiser for Kansas Miss Amazing, Jennifer gave a speech about her Natalie M. Foundation grant. And her speech touched one of the attendees so much that he was inspired, to let his daughter participate in the upcoming event. And his daughter is now one of our queens. During the 2021 Kansas Miss Amazing event, Jennifer earned the Why Not Me Mary Grace Grant. Her passion to help people with disabilities find their way to God was also recognized when she received her acceptance letter to Calvary University, a small Christian college in Kansas City, Missouri, where she's going to study the Bible, theology, and ministry. She wants to either work in a ministry or open her own ministry for people with disabilities to help them to amplify their voices, build leadership skills, and help them find their way to God, just as Kansas Miss Amazing has done and continues to do for her. Sorry. Whew. Okay. At the National Miss Amazing event that's coming up in July, Jennifer wants to sing a song that she wrote called Give Me a Chance. And she wants to share with the world that people with disabilities have so many abilities and are capable of so much if they are just given the chance to shine. I have spent the past few minutes sharing with you just how much Kansas Miss Amazing has affected Jennifer's life. But please know that this speech is not just about Jennifer. It's about all the young girls and women who have participated in Kansas Miss Amazing since 2019. It's about how Michelle, who has a disability, brought Miss Amazing to Kansas. Michelle wanted to share her love to help women with disabilities by providing them with a program where they can grow to be the best amazing young woman they can be. It's about the nurturing, care, and love that is given to every young lady who participates. It's about how they are given the spotlight to share who they are and to share what they are passionate about, the things that make them happy and love life. Jennifer will tell you that Kansas Miss Amazing is about helping young girls and women find their courage and inner strength to let their true spirit shine through. It's about how every one of us, parents, guardians, and fellow Miss Amazing queens and princesses, are there to help these young girls when they are scared and aren't sure about themselves. It's about reminding them that, hey, it's okay to be scared. You can do this. When these young girls dig deep down within themselves and find their courage and inner strength, they are then able to share their introductions and passion presentations, and then they can be proud when everybody cheers and are generally happy that they were able to power through. It's about helping every young girl know that no matter their disability, they are loved and appreciated by their family and friends, their Miss Amazing family, and more importantly, that no matter who they are loved by God. God has made every one of us amazing in our own unique way. Kansas Miss Amazing not only has helped my daughter, Jennifer, to grow in so many amazing ways, Kansas Miss Amazing has helped me to be a better parent, a better advocate, and a better child of God. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much for that. Jennifer, would you like to say some words? There you go. Thank you for being here.
I don't really know what to say, but I just love Kansas music so much. It has helped me grow in confidence and become more sure of myself. And I've seen it happen through the other girls. They've grown their confidence. Like they came from really scared girls to confident young women, and it means everything to me. I just hope that this can continue forever.
Very good. Thank you for that. Believe me, I know how tough that is to get up there in front of that mic. Yes, you did. Very good. Committee questions?
This on, thank you. When you decided to start Miss Amazing, and but by the way, I love the title, Miss Amazing. You know, I may go home and tell my husband I'm Miss Amazing. But I love that because it's so many possibilities and everything else. If you had to choose one thing, what's the best thing about Miss Amazing?
First, I have to clarify, I did not pick the name. Miss Amazing was actually started in Nebraska in 2007, but we did not have a Kansas Miss Amazing until 2019, when I started our chapter here. But if I had to pick one thing that's probably the most important thing about Miss Amazing is that it creates a sisterhood. It's important to have peers, and we all have peers, and people with disabilities have peers. However, when you find the peers that can connect with you on that one level that maybe other peers cannot, there's magic, because those are the people who understand you at a level that no one else can understand. And a lot of our girls, when it comes to diversity, disability is one of those diversities that usually if you have a diversity, everyone in your family has that diversity. Sometimes girls with disabilities, not everyone in the family has that diversity. So sometimes you can't relate to your family at the same way that you can relate as you can with Miss Amazing. So I would think that's probably the most important thing is the sisterhood.
Very nice. Thank you. What a blessing you are.
Very good. Representative Representative Howerton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've never heard of Miss Amazing, so this is wonderful. I'm just curious how many girls participate or women?
On our first year, we had 20 girls participate. The following year, we had 25 girls participate. Then COVID shut everything down, and that year we only had 10, I think, because we had to do things a lot differently, virtually and those kinds of things, so it made it a little harder to do. This past year, we had 15, and we're hoping to build back up again.
And is it statewide or?
It is statewide. We do. We have girls from all over the state that participate. Girls from Wichita, girls from Overland Park, girls from Topeka. And I don't want to say girls. I need to quit saying girls because that was my rule this year. I was not going to use the word girls because the word girl tends to give the perception that our ladies are childlike, and they are not. They are women, and they are strong. So our ladies and our young ladies are from all over the state.
Very good. Would they like to introduce themselves?
They would love to introduce themselves. And because we're all about practicing public speaking, Miss Michelle will tell them they need to introduce themselves. So,
Very good.
We will start with someone who has not come up yet. Nora.
Oh.
Hi, my name is Nora. I'm a Miss Amazing Princess. So when I was, so last I did Miss Amazing back in November, I did sign language, and the song "This Is Me" because I want people to know that you should be who you are and not be like anybody else. Because when I was younger, back in like 6th grade, and after 6th grade, I was scared to know about my disability. I hid it for a long time in 6th grade, and then as I got around like my senior year of high school, that's when I started to accept it because I went to an advocacy camp in 2019, and that advocacy camp really helped me to overcome and have self advocacy of my disability.
Michelle, could we still know where they're from? Okay.
Okay. My name is Jessica Lee Bundes, and I'm from Kansas Miss Amazing, from 2021. And I was a princess one time, and when I did my nominated from my high school when I was a sophomore year. And I welcome to be a part of this program for Miss Amazing, to be in the pageant, to welcome so I can be with my parents and my sisters. And I was born with Down syndrome, and I had a guy from Kansas City Royals named Kid Hutter, and we have been dating since 4 years. And we're getting married from 2080 in Utah. And Taylor Jones is the host. And so that's why Kate Hutter's gonna help me for Kansas Miss Amazing. And I welcome to be in, and I am more welcome to this advocacy for this event. And we usually do book club open mic and the dance class with Christine Banks and the news people from Alex and Megan.
Thank you, Jessica.
Very good, thank you. Okay.
My name is Kendall Hines, and I'm from Kinsley, Kansas. I went to high school, and now I'm at Friends University. Vet Tech. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shirley, and I'm from Olathe, Kansas. Actually, last year was my very first time participating in Kansas Miss Amazing, and I actually won Queen. So I'm going to nationals this year, so I'm super excited for that. I have met a lot of amazing women, so they're really amazing. Really, they are. I don't know why I'm crying. But yes, they are super sweet, and just I enjoy being around them. So.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah Pedig. I am from Shawnee, Kansas, and I am in one of the national queens for this year of the Miss category, and I go to JCC Community College.
I am Isabella Koros, and I am from Garner, Kansas, and I go to Trail Ridge Middle School, and Miss Amazing has been changing my life since from when I joined in.
Hi, I'm Abby Martin. I'm your National Miss Amazing Preteen 2020. I'm from Chanute, Kansas. I like turtles. And Miss Amazing has helped me be more comfortable with my disability. I'm starting to get more comfortable with going to with my wheelchair at school. And it's also helped me advocate for myself and standing up for what I believe.
Very good, thank you. Committee, let's stand and give them a round of applause. Representative Lynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say have had a great opportunity to get to know some of these ladies and go to some of their events. And it has been such a blessing to me to watch. I am always smiling. It's phenomenal. Was it a year or two ago, I got to be part of one of their events in Topeka where I got to teach them a little bit about how bills become a law. And we decided to make the best Kansas cookie. And so I had asked them to, okay, what makes the best cookie? You know, chocolate chips or cinnamon. And we realized that once we put all those great things together, it's not necessarily the best cookie. And so sometimes you have to figure out how to compromise and figure out the best way to work together. So that was a great time. And then at that event as well, they had the opportunity to get dresses for their event. And so there was a room just full of prom dresses. And I was excited. I wanted to go try some on too, because they're beautiful pageant dresses. So they go all out to have hair and makeup and dresses. And it's just a phenomenal event. And I'm so glad that I've gotten to get to know some of them.
And thank you for sharing that with us. Representative Harden.
One last question. Is there a website? Okay, thank you.
And Judge, well, I have that one. Let me see. May I ask you, how do you financially afford this?
No, you're fine. Miss Amazing is a nonprofit, and we fund it through fundraisers and also grants. So like you heard, Jennifer Jennings got us a $250 grant. We've done fundraisers through our fashion show. We've done fundraisers through Kendra Scott. So everything that we do, and our events are free to our girls, so we don't charge. So there's other places that will charge for girls to be part of these kinds of things. We do not charge. The only things that we have charged for in the past was like, we're going to go to a Monarchs game, so they'll have to pay for their tickets. But beyond that, they donate 5 canned food items to join, to participate for that day, and those canned food items are then donated to the community. So our passion is to make sure that it's accessible to the girls, but also that we're giving back to our community in some way. So yes, fundraising.
You do? Wow. Very good.
And where is your first dance? So how does someone come to that?
You can purchase tickets on our website. So you go to the missamazing.org website, then you find Kansas, and then in our store there are tickets for sale to go to the dance.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Any further questions, committee? Well, very good. Thank you all for coming today and making our day.
I hope to see you in October if you're going to be a judge.
Oh, here. Uh-huh.
Committee, anything else? Very good. We are adjourned.